It's Wild Wednesday. This morning, we wanted to check in on Brody the Bear. He's our favorite bear. We've been following Brody's journey for several months now. He had been suffering from some joint pain issues. Now, vets say the joint pain in his hips make him walk with a limp. He's just a young bear. He's only less than a year old. Brody previously had stem cell therapy. He was injected in both hip joints trying to ease the pain. And joining us live now with more is Dr. Trevor Zachariah. He's Director of Veterinary Programs at the Brevard Zoo. And good to have you again, Doc. First of all, good to see you. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you for having me back.
So let's go back to Brody's beginning, because he was abandoned by his mother. He was actually found in the Ocala National Forest. Tell us a little bit about his beginnings and how he ended up there at the zoo.
Yeah, just briefly, you're correct. He was found as the youngest cub that Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission or Conservation Commission has ever found alive. He was 3 weeks old, and he was brought to us to further his care and to, bring him back to health. And so we did that. He's really been thriving with us. But when he was fairly young still, a few months ago, 5, 6 months of age, he started having some issues with his hind legs. And so we found that he had a condition called hip dysplasia that is very common in domestic dogs, but to our knowledge has not really been diagnosed in bears before. And so we've treated him with surgery and the stem cell therapy that you mentioned to try and make him get the best long-term outcome that we can for that condition. And that seems to have gone really well, but he continues to have some issues with his hind legs. So, we had taken him for the MRI to try and find out if there's any other issues that he may have been having. And the good news is that the MRI results are that he didn't have or doesn't have any lesions or problems with his spinal canal or his vertebrae. So that's really good. His cerebrospinal fluid was totally normal. So that's also very good. So really good news on that front.
All right, so Doc, and I want to remind people, because I thought this was pretty cool, you actually brought Brody to a people hospital in order to have that MRI done, which was something unusual too. So you have the MRI results. Does that sort of help you now to know how to treat him? I know, like when dogs get this, right? A lot of people will do the glucosamine supplements. How do you treat a bear with this issue?
Well, long-term therapy, yeah, there's a variety of things that we can do with supplements and potentially medications down the road when he has potentially more issues with this, or if he has more issues with this. Right now, he's doing really well. He just had some minor, slight issues with his right hind leg. So right now, he's doing quite well. He's a happy bear. The good news, like I said, is the MRI ruled out a lot of things that could be going on. And so we're very happy that some of the really significant things, like involving his spine, are not present. And so we're glad that those things are not issues that we have to deal with for him.
No, that is good news. And the other thing, too, I thought was interesting, and you sort of touched on this, is that oftentimes this is something that happens as animals age, right? Not when they're really in their sort of infant stages.
Right. So in domestic dogs, they have the morphology or the anatomy beginnings of this when they're born, but it doesn't really develop to a significant degree in most animals till they get older. With him, we happened to catch it fairly early, and so we were able to do interventions with surgery and the stem cell therapy on a really early basis, which will give him the best possible long-term outcome.
Well, he is truly adorable, and we're so glad that he is getting the best care there at the Brevard Zoo. And people can go see him, so please go visit the Brevard Zoo. It is really one of the most beautiful zoos we have in our area. Thank you so much, Dr. Trevor Zachariah. We appreciate your time, as always.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Good to see you.